Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for coming back and joining me again for another episode of the podcast. I'm your host, Pam Durkin. I'm the closing coach for interior designers, and you may wonder why the heck am I called the closing coach? Because I help you identify the right types of clients and then help you move it through the process so much faster so that you can go ahead and close. And if you're not closing enough jobs, we can figure out together in my Luxury Client Academy why that is and make the proper adjustment. So today I want to talk about how not all referrals are created equal. Cue the scary music, right? But it's true. And you guys, I know you're getting all your jobs from referrals. 90% of you are saying that all my jobs come from some sort of referral, which I totally get it because we are in a referral type business. We are in a luxury category and we want to get our business from referrals. But I'm here to tell you today that not all are considered equal in my mind. So there's several different kinds of referral sources that I want to go over. But first, I want to tell you guys about my challenge that's coming up. It's called the Rapid Referrals Challenge. It's coming up so soon. It's coming up March 5th and 6th, and which is just in a couple of days. And we're going to be actually doing some really cool things together. So it is a 2-day challenge. And what we're going to be doing is we are actually going to be working in the room together. I'm not going to be doing a lot of teaching where you're just taking notes, but we're actually going to be doing a lot of workshopping in that meeting because I want to help you build this muscle of getting referrals and getting the right referrals. So the link to sign up for the challenge is in the show notes. And if you're interested in being in there, I would love to have you there. I would love to help you start making some contacts and sending out some emails at the end of day 2 of the challenge, which is the goal. Like, we're not here to just talk and talk theory, right? We are going to be actually doing the work in the room. And I'm finding that that's so much easier for everyone, myself included. So we're going to make this definitely a working meeting. So I actually want you to be there and I want your cameras on and I want to help you start to get the ball rolling with some really great quality referrals. So let's get back to the different types of referrals. And not all, as I mentioned before, are created equal. So there's 2 main types, which would be a non-industry referral. So that would be where you learn about a job, maybe from a family member or a friend, past client. I'm considering them non-industry, and you'll see why. Past client, maybe you got an inquiry on your website or from social media. That would be a non-industry referral. And then there are industry referrals, which would be somebody that's in your world, a builder, a realtor, one of your tradespeople, maybe one of your showrooms, maybe a building manager that you've worked with before. So any of those would be industry referrals. Now, the issue that I have with non-industry referrals, sometimes they are great and they can be wonderful. So it's not to say to completely discount them, but what I have found is that when you receive a referral, even from an amazing past client, that sometimes the people they're giving your name to are not exactly like them. So they may not have the same means that are happening as your your original client. They may have different ideas on how designer works. They may just not be quite as affluent. They may not have the same personality. Like, there's a lot of factors that come into play when you receive a referral from a client. And I've had this happen to me a lot of times. Is 9 times out of 10 they're not as good as your original client. And literally, I mean, people are trying to be very helpful. They're trying to get your name out there, which is wonderful. And it's really, really nice. And of course, you want to thank the person for the referral and follow up on the referral, but you also have to do your homework. You can't just assume that they're identical to the client that you previously had if it's a client referral. So I want you guys to be keeping that in mind. And there's a whole host of reasons why we want to kind of move more towards industry referrals. But first, let's talk about the two types of industry referrals that might come your way. One is going to be a not ideal industry referral, and one is going to be an ideal. How do you know the difference? Well, the ideal industry referral is going to be somebody that's working with the same clients that you want to be working with or that you're currently working with and are happy working with. And this is why an ideal industry referral is one of the best ways to get luxury clients, because it's the same type of work that you're looking for. They are in the room, they are in the circles that you want to be in or that you want to continue to grow in, right? Or do more work in. So this is why, not all referrals are, created equal. And when you deal with an industry referral that is ideal, now you're able to put less time without a lot of extra effort and get an incredible payback. So I know all of you designers out there are doing it all. We're all working as working designers, so you're designing and dealing with all the parts and pieces that come with putting in a successful interior design project together. And it's a lot of time and it's a lot of details. So we need to be thinking of ways that we can be even more efficient with our time, where we can put in quality time and get a quality return on our time investment. So this is where those key ideal industry referrals come into play. So we definitely have to be identifying these. And this is one of the things we're going to be talking specifically about in the challenge. So if this is something that you've been really struggling with, go ahead and get your seat in the challenge. But I want to also just address what stops us from pursuing these ideal referrals. Part of it is because as humans, we are hardwired to kind of like hold back and keep ourselves safe, right? And then the other thing is, so many of us as creatives are very introverted, we're very sensitive, we're very intuitive. And so when we have to put ourselves out there into new situations that we're not used to. And the other thing that we are as designers is we like to know. We want to be prepared. We want to know all the eventualities because, as you know, so many things can happen when we're running a project. So we always do, scenarios. What could happen here? What could happen there, right? So we always want to know. And as we're pushing ourselves to go into uncomfortable situations, the light, the sirens are going off, going, no, don't do it. It's scary. It's a lot. You don't have time for this, right? And so that holds us back a lot of times. So one of the things that come up a lot as, why am I not going after these types of referral sources? Why am I not making inroads here? The first one is I'm busy. I'll do it later when I have time, when my projects end, when I can have a moment to think, right? So I know that we've got a lot of things going on, but I'm busy is probably one of the top excuses that I hear as we move forward as to why we're not pursuing these opportunities. The next one is I don't want to bother anyone. I don't want to, interrupt them. I don't want to feel like I'm selling to them or I'm being pushy or I'm interrupting, their train of thought as they're working on projects. So I don't want to be a bother to someone. The other thing that I hear a lot is I don't want to look desperate. I want business to just come to me. I want the phone to ring. I don't want to have to ask for work. I don't want to look like I don't have enough work in my business, because many of you have said it just makes you feel like you're not good enough because you're not busy. And we're going to address that later on, but I know a lot of you feel this way because I've heard it over and over and over again. I don't want to look desperate, so I don't want to reach out and be like, hey. And of course, how we frame the conversation is very important as well. So the language we're using, but at the end of the day, we got to pay the bills, right? Um, so many of you say that I don't feel like I'm good enough yet. I don't have enough experience. I haven't done enough projects. I've only done small things. I couldn't possibly contact XYZ builder because they are doing these types of projects and I've never done one before. And I think you've heard me say there's always a first time. There's always a first time for that first new type of project. So at some point, we're going to have to break the seal, right? And then the last thing I hear is my ducks aren't all in a row. I don't have everything figured out. I don't have all my processes down. I don't have all my, everything's not all branded and beautiful. You guys, we got to move on from some of these things. Branding and beautiful fonts and all of this, it's lovely, but it doesn't pay the bills. So I want you to see why this is so incredibly important to start before you feel ready, because here's the light bulb moment. You're never going to feel ready. You're never going to feel ready. And I'm here to encourage you and to push you to do the work that you don't want to do because you don't feel ready, you don't think you're good enough, I don't have time, all these things, because we need to do that to move forward, to grow. So here are the consequences to all those excuses that we talked about just a few minutes ago. When you say, I don't have time for it now, I'll do it later. Well, later turns into never, or 3 or 4 weeks from now, or maybe months from now. And that's where we get ourselves into a pickle, because all of a sudden, all these projects are finishing up. And we are literally up against the timeline where we're like, I need something now. I need work now. I have to find some jobs. And what happens is when we make those decisions in a time of panic is that we release all our boundaries, right? And we're kind of like, it's okay. There's a flag there, but it's okay because they're going to give me X dollars. It's a, multi-room project. That thing about, we always check 10 prices and we want 9,000 choices. It should be fine, right? How many of you have done this? You're like, it'll be fine. So when later becomes never or becomes months and months, it puts us in a position where we have to take the next thing that comes along because we need the money. When you say you don't want to bother somebody, the consequence is that you never get the chance to practice. You never get the chance to expand your horizons, to move into bigger projects, to transition into more luxury projects. And now you've become the best kept secret in your market. How many of you have, said, I'm the best kept secret in my market? I've said it to myself for sure. And I bet a lot of you have said it to yourselves as well. And that's actually a problem. We don't want to be the best kept secret. We want everyone to know us. We want the right people to know us, not everyone. Some of us like to be, quietly successful, which I am a big fan of. I want the phone to ring with great projects. I don't need everyone to know my name. I don't need to be out there in the spotlight being Insta famous or famous. I don't need that. And I know a lot of you don't need that as well. So we can still be successful and not be the best kept secret. When you're worried about looking desperate because you're out there marketing and maybe asking for work and being very forward about the types of work that you're looking for, which, by the way, huge fan of that, really dial in what you're looking for. When you're talking to people, why not tell them the types of projects you're looking for? I'm looking for 4 rooms and higher. I'm looking for contemporary clients. I'm looking for new builds, 4,000 square feet and up. Get really comfortable with what are you looking for. The more specific you can be, the easier it is for people to connect you because you've told them what you're looking for. When you're just like, I'm an interior designer looking for interior design work, you're going to get lots of different things coming your way. And if the more specific that you can be, you're also kind of qualifying that, pre-qualifying, sifting through that, telling people what you're looking for ideally. That is incredibly powerful. So I suggest write down what you're really looking for, what type of work you're looking for, and then you can be better versed at it when you're at a networking meeting or when you're talking to a builder or a realtor. But when you feel like you look desperate, that's a you thing. That is a you thing, because smart business owners are looking for opportunities, are looking for work, are looking for ways to expand their business, are looking for new types of projects to move them to the next level. So keep that in mind when you're like, I don't want to look desperate. That's something going on between your ears that you need to address because you're not looking desperate. Now, again, comes back to language, like how you talk about it, how you talk about the type of opportunities you're looking for. You wouldn't go to somebody and say, I need work right now because I'm desperate, right? Because I need work because I looked up and now I don't have anything and I need some work, right? You want to craft that message a little bit differently, but no one's going to fault you for trying to build your business, for trying to fill your pipeline, for trying to be proactive in your business. And then the excuse is, I'm not good enough yet. I haven't had enough experience yet. I haven't done the types of projects I want to do yet. All of these things. What you're doing, think about it this way, you're practicing on the wrong projects. You're getting really good at the mediocre stuff. You're getting really good at navigating clients who are price conscious. You're getting really good at not marking things up as much as you should because you don't want to hear it. You don't want the pushback. You just want them to buy the thing, right? And so what you're doing is you're practicing bad habits. You're not practicing on the right types of projects. And I have a saying that I use a lot. You may have heard me say it before, but done is better than perfect. We have to start somewhere. I know you will rise to the occasion because I know if you're a designer, you're very conscientious in terms of taking care of your clients. How about the one where you're like, I don't have all the ducks in a row. I don't have all my processes figured out. I don't have all my contract 100% perfect. My website doesn't look great. I need to work on all these things. These are all just stall tactics, in my opinion, on just not being confident enough to go out there and go after what you want. Because I will tell you, if you talk to someone and they like you and they like what you're saying and they feel that you can help them solve a problem, they don't give two shits about your website. Excuse my French. They will work with you. I have a designer I'm working with now who is talking to huge builders in her area. And she's relatively new designer, but because they like her, they are giving her incredible opportunities. They are bending over backwards to help her. They are willing to teach her some things. And she's being very clear and very upfront about where her, experiences lie in this, design world. But they're still totally fine with it. They know that she will do the right thing. They are impressed every time she presents something, and I know they will be with you too. Because we bring our A game every time. I know we do. We kill ourselves to make sure that we over deliver every time. So when you say that your ducks aren't in a row, I bet they are. I bet they're way more in a row than you have admitted to yourself. So a lot of the missteps happen when we don't follow through, follow it all the way through. Like we get maybe a brush off in the beginning and we just let it sit and die on the vine like an opportunity. We don't ever follow up, or we follow up in a way that's just like just following up, just following up, just following up. So there are a lot of nuances along the way to get people to engage, to get people to get to know us, to get people to like us, so that we can get these ideal industry referrals. Sometimes we're just like asking for the sale too early. Like we haven't actually built any trust, and we haven't demonstrated how we can help them. We haven't demonstrated our value. We're just like, give me a job, you know? And so there are some subtleties to how we approach these key industry referrals. And so what I do is I help you three different ways. One is I help you get noticed. There is a lot, I don't know if you guys know, but there are a lot of designers out there. And in fact, in Florida, where I am, we have the highest number of designers per square mile, like in the country. It's redonkulous. Like there are a lot of designers out there. And you got to believe your key referral people are hearing from a lot of designers. Hey, you got any work? What's going on? What kind of business do you have? Would love to partner up, right? We have to figure out ways that you can get noticed, that you can make an impression, that you can stand out, where they are right away like, this person's different. We need to start pursuing this. Just like you want to work with quality vendors, we want to showcase from the beginning that you're a quality vendor and that you're looking for a long-term relationship, that you are looking to create a partnership where you guys will help each other, where you will fill in the gaps of where the other is, I'm going to use the word deficient. It's not really the word that I'm looking for, but you're really helping each other in the areas where you have expertise and the other person doesn't, right? So I help you get noticed. Then I help you get actually referred. So we start building that trust where they're like, let me feel comfortable enough to send one of my clients your way. Now, that's really hard for a lot of people, yourself included. When someone asks for a referral, you're very careful on who you refer, because I know you've said, this is going to reflect on me. This is going to reflect back on me, this referral. And you have to think about that from the other side, where you're working with a builder or a realtor. You have to show them that you're going to be a great representation of their brand, and that trust that they've put into giving you that referral is going to be well-founded, right? And then you're going to build on that. So I help you get noticed. Then I help you get referred. And then I help you get a continual stream of referral business from this referral source. And this is why key ideal industry referrals is imperative, because you put a lot of time and effort into so many things in your business, social media, your website, doing discovery calls, all of this stuff, right? And it all takes a lot of time. What if you could really spend focused time and energy on developing these key industry referral sources that could give you 2, 5, 10 projects a year? That's worth the time and effort to really be spending quality time diving into, making sure that it's a good relationship, following up, right? And figuring out how you can help them in a way that they need help. This is the other thing. We always assume that everyone needs help in the same way. That's not the case. We have to ask, what's going on? What's happening with your other, the other designers you're working with? What's something that you all are always struggling with? Oh, I can help with X, Y, and Z because I do that, right? So the continual flow of referrals is when it really starts getting cool, So you're putting time and effort into something that will pay back again and again and again. So this is why key industry referrals is huge. And this is why we're going to be talking about this in the Rapid Referrals Challenge that's coming up March 5th and 6th. So if you want to start creating these resources, these relationships, you need to be in the challenge. So I want you to do a little what if scenario. What if you carved out 15 minutes at the beginning of every day, or at lunchtime, or at the end of the day? I'm going to say beginning because that's when you're not opening email and then sort of getting derailed, or opening your phone and then getting derailed on various things. So I like the morning because you can do it before you've really opened anything. What if you carved out 15 minutes a day to connect with people that you want to do more business with? Super easy, right? Super easy, so doable. So doable. What if you accepted that you are not going to be perfect? That the beginning of you learning how to reach out to people, that you learning what to say to people is not going to be perfect. In fact, it's probably not going to be great. It's not. What if you just accepted that and you go, listen, I'm going to do this because I know the long-term benefits are there. The ROI is there. This is really going to help me in my business, right? What if you said to yourself, but in the beginning, I'm not going to be good at it. I'm not going to be good at it, and that's okay. What if you said that? It's okay that you're not perfect. It's okay that you're not great at it. It's okay that you're a little bit awkward, because everyone starts somewhere. Everyone starts as a novice. And what you're doing is you're thinking about the long-term effects of what you're doing, the time you're putting into this, the willingness to not be amazing at it at the beginning, because you know that you're going to get better, because I know you're a lifelong learner. You're very competitive. Y'all are perfectionists. So you're going to ramp it up quickly, because you're going to be like, I'm not doing this mediocre stuff anymore. Like, I know you guys, once you like grab hold of it, you are going to go all in. And it gets kind of fun when you start to play around with, is this a good referral source? And then just picking up on these little cues, these little nuances, these little breadcrumbs that they put down for you that you've never noticed before. Because now you're hyper focused on it. You're not doing a million different things, but you're like, I am spending 15 minutes a day contacting 1, 2, 3 people, and really just being present in that moment. Now, what if you realize that you pursuing work doesn't make you look desperate, but indicates that you have your shit together, that you are a business owner, that you are looking to get better, that you are looking to improve, that you are looking to grow your business in an organized way, that you are planting these seeds early, that you know that this is going to pay off in the long run. Does that make you look desperate? No, that makes you look like you are organized, that you're an amazing designer, that you're running an amazing design business. And I'm going to tell you, one of the pieces of feedback that I get from builders all the time is that they think designers are flaky, unorganized, just off the rails, promising things to clients that can't be done. But if you contacted a builder and was like, listen, I would love, I'm planning my work for 5 months from now. I'm planning my calendar. I'm looking to establish relationships with really wonderful builders in my area. You don't think that's going to reflect really well on you? I think it does. I think it makes them go, whoa, this is a designer that's actually like running a real business, that really cares, that wants to be organized, that's looking for quality work. I might need to look at this person. So you pursuing work does not make you look at all desperate. What if you approach this whole thing, getting these great referrals, by I am good enough? because I have high integrity and I will do anything I can to take care of my clients, to preserve a good relationship, to have a project finished successfully, to provide great customer service, to include incredible design ideas to my clients, to work with my vendors in a way that we work as a team and not as individuals that are just going for their own, own glory, right? I know so many of you, this is how you operate. This is how you operate 110% of the time, with your client's best interest at heart, with your level of integrity for the design intent, for the quality of what's going to be executed in this project. You guys are doing it. You're just not talking about it. And you have to have more faith in yourselves, that you are going to hold yourself accountable to your own high standards, which I know you do. And sometimes you beat yourself up because your standards are impossibly high. So if you were ever worried about you not being good enough, I mean, come on. We're like ridiculous on ourselves. We like go above and beyond all the time. So what if you said to yourself, I am good enough. I'm better than good enough. I know I'm going to rise to the occasion here. And what if you saw this as an opportunity to up-level your processes as you get to work with better vendors and better referral sources, so you can see what they're doing, how they're running their businesses, what things they're doing in their businesses that you admire, so that you can incorporate it into your work. Now, you may even see some things that they're doing that you're like, yeah, I don't like that. Don't want to do that. But then you might be exposed to, wow, they're doing this whole QR code thing, or they include 3Ds on every room at all times, or they have this great online system that they incorporate in their business. I like that. That's cool. I could incorporate that in my business. So what if, instead of being like, oh, shrinking back and saying, I don't have enough, I don't know enough, my processes aren't good enough, what if you said to yourself, I am moving forward. I'm exposing myself to better vendors so that I can see what's happening. I can see what other people are doing to service their clients better, to have more successful projects. And that in turn is going to make me a better designer, me a better business owner, so that I can provide these services to my clients as well. So these are all the great what ifs, the other side of the coin that you may not even have thought of, but I want you to be flipping the script a little bit. Instead of like shrinking, I want you to be expanding. How is this going to serve me? How is this going to make me better? Right? So I want to tell you guys again about the Rapid Referrals Challenge that's coming up March 5th and 6th. It's 12 to 1:30 Eastern for both days, or 9 to 11:30 Pacific, both days. Again, it's an hour and a half. It's an investment in your business. The challenge is $19. And the reason I'm charging for the challenge is because so many of you like to sign up for free stuff and then never do anything with it. And so I want you to be there. I want you to be doing the work. I want this to be on your calendar like it's a client appointment, because I want you to be in the room. And I want you to get real value out of it, so that you can start getting these key referrals, because they're going to pay off again and again and again. So we're going to be in the room doing the work, identifying your best referral sources, how to best approach them. And we're going to be basically like breaking the seal of I don't have time, or I can't do this, or I'm not good enough, right? All those excuses that we heard earlier. We're going to be breaking that seal, because I want you to train the muscle. Or training your muscles to be like, it's okay to be a novice at this. It's okay to be rusty at it. It's okay to be not the best and perfect. But the biggest thing that we're going to be doing together is we're going to be making progress, moving forward, making those connections, having you think about those connections, getting excited for all those opportunities that you're going to be pursuing, because we went through all the what ifs, right? All the what ifs of what, all the benefits, all the positive things that could happen for you pushing yourself a little out of your comfort zone. Of course, marketing and sales is very uncomfortable, but we're going to do it in a way that feels really, really good and that you're going to be really excited about in your business. So I hope you guys join me at the Rapid Referrals Challenge. And I hope this episode has really got you thinking about referrals and the differences about how referrals can be really great, or just because they're a referral doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to be a future client. So all referrals are not created equal. And I hope you realize that after today's episode. So thanks so much for joining me again. I hope to see you guys in the Rapid Referrals Challenge, and I will see you next time. Take care.